Israel and the United States have a special relationship.
Unprecedented.
So special that Israel gets more than half of all U.S. foreign aid. What kind of aid are we talking about? And more importantly, why does the U.S. keep it flowing? This is The Real Deal on U.S. aid to Israel. Simply put, the U.S. gives Israel money. Lots of it. To be precise, a grand total of $121 billion and counting. And unlike U.S. aid to most other countries, money to Israel is given primarily to its military. Why?
The security of Israel. Preventing a nuclear Iran and ending the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
But it's a military that has been accused of war crimes by the United Nations and called trigger-happy by Amnesty International. No matter. As foreign policy analyst Stephen Walt puts it,
the United States gives Israel generous diplomatic, economic, and military support, and does so unconditionally, regardless of what it does.
And the support comes in many forms. First, there's the U.S. budget. Congress gives Israel on average $3 billion a year, $3 billion of U.S. taxpayers' money. Uncle Sam also doles out more aid by funding military research programs. In 2014, $504 million went to joint U.S.-Israeli military research and to the development of anti-rocket defense systems. One of those systems, Iron Dome, has cost the U.S. $720 million, a price tag that is going up as we speak. Then there are the additional multi-million-dollar weapons deals. We're talking hundreds of millions of dollars here. And a $1 billion U.S. weapons stockpile that Israel can access in times of emergency. All in all, with the U.S.'s help, Israel has one of the most advanced militaries and is one of the top 10 arms dealers in the world. Guess who's one of its biggest customers? The United States. The relationship is lucrative. As Phyllis Bennis of the Institute for Policy Studies says,
it started in 1967 after the Six-Day War, when the Pentagon initiated a new relationship. The Israeli military was very powerful. The Pentagon looked at them and said, wow, we could do business with these people. And business became the operative term.
What about non-military aid? USAID has given more to Israel than it has to any other country in the Middle East, helping to build libraries, medical centers, and universities. Talk about friends with benefits. The U.S. says that arming Israel helps protect it from Hamas fighters in Gaza, Hezbollah fighters in Lebanon, and of course, Iran. But Hamas has rockets, and Israel has F-16s. And while Iran has no confirmed nuclear warheads, Israel has an estimated 80. So after all the military aid, is Israel really as vulnerable as the U.S. says it is? And is all this money actually helping to end the Israeli-Palestinian conflict? If it were cut, what might change?
Israel might be willing to rethink the occupation, rethink settlement building, and perhaps get more interested in a two-state solution. Right now, they don't have to compromise because they get backing from the United States no matter what they do.
So what do you think? Is this special relationship worth the price?
Yes, mama.